Every martial art you've ever seen, from ancient traditions to modern military programs, is built from the same 6 skills. Here is how you see through the noise and understand any system on its own terms. Before you break down any fighting system, you must respect its origins. Every art emerged from a specific need, a cultural tradition, a battlefield requirement, a sport rule set. You honor the dedication of its practitioners and the validity of their achievements. Then you shift into objective analysis. You set aside your own preferences and look at the system as a collection of solutions to human problems. You identify its core focus. Does it emphasize striking, grappling, or something else? You map its tactics to the environment it was designed for. This respect-first approach keeps your analysis clean and your learning open. You do not dismiss what you do not understand. You study it. Here is the foundational principle. Human unarmed combat in any context is an orchestration of only 6 possible types of skill. Guarding protects your space. Striking delivers impact with a weapon, your fist, foot, elbow, knee. Blocking intercepts force directly. Parrying redirects force away from your body. Grappling controls the opponent's body. Throwing unbalances and projects them to the ground. That spinning hook kick you see in Taekwondo. It is a striking skill, defined by a horizontal plane and an indirect path. That armbar in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It is a grappling skill targeting the elbow joint. No system owns these skills. Each art expresses them through its own technical library and strategic emphasis. To truly understand an art, you break it down into its elemental components. You ask, what biomechanical elements define its signature techniques? Look at the planes, paths, and rotations. A Muay Thai roundhouse uses a horizontal plane and a circular path. A boxing jab uses a vertical plane and a linear path. Then you examine the combative elements. What timing initiatives and distances does the system assume? Does it close distance for grappling or maintain range for striking? You also consider the psychology elements. What emotional states does the system cultivate in its practitioners? Aggression, patience, calm. How do they train processing elements, decision-making under stress? This transparency removes the mystery and reveals the mechanics. Every system's technical choices make sense when you understand its context. A sport Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu rule set creates a different environmental element than a Marine Corps martial arts program. The sport art assumes a mat, a gi, and no strikes to the ground. The military art assumes gear, uneven terrain, and multiple threats. This context explains why one art emphasizes guard pulling and the other emphasizes weapon retention. You do not judge one as superior. You recognize that each is optimized for its specific purpose. When you train at Modern Combat Martial Arts, or MCMA, you learn to adapt your skills to any context. You take the universal principles and apply them to the situation in front of you. Once you understand the elemental building blocks, you gain the ability to translate techniques from any art into your own framework. You see a Wing Chun chain punch and recognize it as a series of linear, vertical plane striking skills with a specific timing initiative. You see a judo hip throw and identify it as a throwing skill using rotation and off-balancing. This translation skill lets you borrow effective solutions from other systems without abandoning your own foundation. You do not need to learn every art. You need to understand how each art solves the same universal problems. Then you incorporate what works for your body and your context. This is how you build a complete personal combative system. The purpose of this analysis is not to criticize or diminish any art. It is to elevate your understanding. You come away with a clearer view of your own art's strengths and inherent assumptions. You recognize that the perceived secrets of elite systems, from special forces to ancient Koryu, are most often sophisticated, context-driven applications of these universal principles. You can learn, practice, and understand these principles through a structured, scientific framework. By demystifying others, you demystify yourself. You see that every martial art is a human solution to a human problem, built from the same elemental parts. This understanding fosters a more informed, less tribal martial arts community. Study all arts to understand their unique expressions. In doing so, you reveal the universal principles that connect them all. That is the path to mastery.